Guess who's back? Back again. Zleek is back. Like a 90s song, somewhere. I think it's the 90s. Well, regardless, other than shitty rap references, because I totally listen to it all the time. Today we're looking at Gigatrack. So Gigatrack, as you may or may not know, is a gargantuan track, or otherwise known as a Gigatrack. Only quads can stop the Gigatrack. Regardless, you're going to want to definitely just take your time with this one. Use the Scorpion. So rather than go through the whole track today, I'm just going to do the slow motion and full motion replay. So this track is going to be pretty long, regardless of how I do this. So let's just go ahead and get started. So my time is 848th. As you can see, one spot behind my friend there, Deliverance, was 6 minutes 38.029 seconds. Easily the longest track in the entire game, at least the actual game. I mean, there's custom tracks that are longer, so either way, let's get started before it goes to eternity, shall we? So like I said, we're just doing the slow motion replay, and I might do the full motion replay or not, so I'll leave time codes in the description for that if you guys just want to see certain parts. And I'll try to just fast forward through parts that aren't really necessary to know because there's big stretches, So here we'll just see me leaning forward, going up into this gap here. So I won't be going really full speed, I'll just be kind of pausing, I guess. And so you see me hit this just kind of gap with a big jump here. And a front flip, of course. So another thing I should note with this track is there's a lot of ways to do this. This is just my way personally, so if you have a faster way, feel free to do that. This isn't necessarily gospel. None of my videos really are, because I'm obviously not the best player in the world. I'm ranked on the like 200s, not number one. So anything I just have is just some advice from someone who used to be terrible at this game and someone who's not terrible at this game anymore. So this here we'll do a bunny hop, and you want to try to land on this downhill section of this dirt just to get most speed. And also, while we're doing this, there's another bunny up here. I should also note that there's a lot of tracks where you don't use any gas on certain parts for high speed. There aren't really any spots like this. If there are, I'll make sure to point them out. Otherwise, you will be holding gas pretty much this whole track, though. Not too much brakes or anything, especially in these beginning parts. So here you'll see me, I do actually tap brakes despite what I just said. Basically you want to land somewhere just in the down here. It's not really that good to get build up speed on that downhill bridge because you already have a lot of it from falling, so as long as you just push up here. And then you'll see me tap brakes here just to kind of go down this hill section, just to hit this ramp of dirt, I guess you can call it there, and just try to skip that lower part I just jumped over. And you'll see me kind of do it again here where I just hit the brakes so I can just kind of hit this next hill. So just get nice down here. Big hop off the train tracks. Okay, we'll just go ahead and skip this part. It's not really necessary. Just bunny up here. I'll flip for no reason. Or up here. So on this train too, make sure to just be leaning back because you will hit it and flip over if you don't. Just lean forward into this hill. Actively leaning forward, of course. You can just hold forward pretty much this whole time. I do lean back here just so I can get kind of a little boost in speed there. Not really sure if it did too much or anything. So getting over this hill. Just full throttle down here, and then you'll see me just, no bunny hop for this part, just come down here into this hole, and then I'll lean forward up and over this thing. Just enough gas to where you can clear those stacks of white, whatever, cocaine probably it looks like, because it's a drug bust with cops and stuff. As long as you can hit that ramp, you should just be able to push over there, which is fine. Okay, falling down here, and so this part, just keep holding gas. If you let go of gas, you will go too fast and kind of crash, so I do tap the brakes just a little bit just so I can land a little bit earlier than normal. Another big jump here. No brakes on this one. No brakes on the bike train. Alright. And so we hop over here. You can see it's kind of like two grades. So I did kind of mess up on that jump because I didn't clear it too well. And then for the key here is just want to get enough gas to where you can just skip the first two there and then hop over and skip these next two here. That'll be a big time saver. Alright, for this jump you can do two things. I believe I just lean forward. You can also lean back up this jump if you're balanced enough, just because you can bunny hop at the end for more distance, but this is fine too. You'll see me just kind of hop right over that. I should have tried to get my back tire to push off with more speed, but that's okay. And then you just lean back in here, and then what I can do here is usually I just do a front flip, and I do those. So there. I also do a front flip on this jump, just leaning back, pushing forward on the stone. Doing a front flip down here. Hey, we're almost like a fourth of the way through the track, KP. And we'll push forward right here. Just do a nice big flip again. There's a lot of flips on this track. I should have a flip counter or something running in the background. And then for here, on these jumps too, you want to get as little as air as possible, so that was a little risky with the flip there, but I did anyway. So you see me here, just kind of push and let go of gas, and just get enough air to where I'm on the downhill side of this hill. Now see me go here, just pushing forward, again, not getting very much gas, just so I can start on the flatter part of the hill with a bit of momentum a little bit faster. Pushing forward, holding gas. See me just hit here with the back wheel just to get a little more speed. Waiting forward to this one, so my back tire to come up a little bit, so I also a little bit of speed there. Alright, so for this part, there's two ways you can do this. I believe I do it this way, where you roll down this initial hill, take the first ramp, and then launch across the ravine, or gap. I don't know if ravine's the right word. I'm not a ravine-ologist, or whatever you want to call that. I didn't go to college, okay? Well, I'm in college, but regardless. Not in vocabulary class. Other than that, I mean, wasting time in this gigantic video already. You can go straight down this first hill without using too much gas or brake, and then hit that first ramp and then launch across, or you can go down, you can jump from where I am, skip that first ramp, and just go over the big gap. So as you can see here, I'm just rolling down, and then once you're actually down, don't use gas until you're already headed downhill. Then you want to use gas and then do the bunny hop. Otherwise, just skip that first ramp and go down the second one. Either way works. It's about the same time either way. For some reason my bike kicked up there, I don't know why. Do a big bunny up here, get that front tire up and over. Just more gas as usual. And this is where you usually run into problems if you're using the Phoenix. It's very difficult to hit this jump if you're using the Phoenix. That's why the Scorpion's recommended. So as you can see, it's very easy to hit with the Scorpion if you have full speed. So more front flips for no reason. And this is where things start to get a little more tricky with jumps and timing and stuff, so hopefully you'll be able to see some of this stuff. So here's another big jump. This one's pretty easy to make with the Phoenix as well, but with the Scorpion, you basically just want to hit it where it's actually, it's kind of like a synth wave, I think, or something like that. I don't really know how to describe it, but you just want to hit on the actual downhill section of this ramp. Alright, for these jumps, you want to bunny hop it to where you can actually land about where I do on this one, and then jump, skip this little hill I'm right over right now, and then land on the uphill for this next section. Don't jump on this section though, just get over it. Get as down as soon as you can, full throttle, and then you want to push up starting about here. And what that lets you do is you come up off this ramp, don't bunny hop, you just want to push forward off that previous jump. Land down here, which is great because then you can get a nice big jump out of this next one, which saves you a lot of time. Hopefully, if you can see around where those yellow bars are, even with the track, there's like a little bump. If you land on the downhill section of that bump, which I just did, that's good for you. I missed time to jump a little bit, but that's okay. And then you'll see me land down here in this gap. And normally, if you have enough speed, you should be able to get a lot higher than I did. I don't know why I didn't, but that's alright. You want to make sure and fall down this gap. This is similar to Tree Hugger, where it's just hitting that small little jump helps you out in the big jump overall. Then you want to do some more full throttle. Just do a big hop over here. Shouldn't really do a front flip there, that's alright. On these divots, you want to hit the outside of the divot with your back tire just to make sure you stay balanced. Pushing forward, back into forward on inclines as always. And then I think I might readjust to push forward into this hill again. Push forward into this ramp as always on ramps, and as you see I'm trying to skip some of the longer parts. For this part, there's better ways to do this. I'm not really too good at this part, so you want to try to hit this bridge part as evenly as possible. And then if you're good, which I'm not, you should be able to, where I'm floating right now, you should be able to actually hit the ground, and that way you can hit this ramp better. As you see, I lose a ton of momentum with that, so I kind of get screwed there. And as long as you land on this kind of downhill ramp, as you can see, even with that rock in the background, there's like that faded white line that was a track. There's kind of where the hill of that track is. And you want to hit this ramp. On a good jump, I'm not sure if I make this one, you can actually pass this hill I just landed on and actually land on this downhill section right here. So, I could have done that a little bit better. Big hop down here. Try to land on this downhill section. You see it kind of, I do a little bit early, but it still lands downhill overall. This section can be deceiving because it does look like you have a lot of room before you land, but you actually land quite soon, so make sure and only do a flip if you are comfortable with that. So same thing with here, it looks like you're going to land a lot further down, but you don't. I should have landed a little bit further down to push up with more momentum, but that's okay. Pushing up this hill. And then that's fine. I probably should have landed a little bit sooner on that one, but that's okay. So another big hop here. Again, with this one, you probably should have gone down that hill and then taken that hop over the river, but I just had enough momentum where I was like, screw it, whatever. You will not drown in this water unless you're like way upside down or something. Make sure to be leaning back on that pallet. That way you don't flip over. Pushing forward up this hill. get enough jump where hopefully you can land on this downhill section. And then I apologize here because around this point my game lags a little bit for some reason, so if you see that little jump, then that's why. So then around here you want to do a big jump to where you can just skip these 2 ramps down here, so you can see those barrels in the ramps. Just try to land on the second ramp if you can. Where I landed is fine. Try to get pretty low on this jump just so you can get a lot of speed on this ramp. I kind of messed that up, as you can see here. And then from here, you want to try to land where your tire's already pushing into this ramp, so like you can see me there, and then you want to get a little bit of air, just enough to push off this blue rubber thing. And then here you want to bunny hop and skip as much of this ramp as possible. This is where my game usually skips for some reason, I'm not really sure why. For this jump, get your front tire up and push over it and just kind of land or do a flip or whatever past the train tracks if possible. Alright, now we're going to push forward. Let's keep your bike even as possible. Push into the hill, of course. So, there's enough air to get up and over that mound. Now see me again, pushing into the hill, as always. Enough air just to get up and over. You might see me push off with my back wheel a little bit. Alright, again, pushing into the hill. Into the hill, just enough to get over again. Alright, then you'll see me here, push up and do a hop up here. Try to get as much of that ramp out of the way as possible. This is the part where you want to be careful with the no gas, because from here on, basically once you get on the concrete, you'll want to let go of gas. You see I do. But after this big jump is about where you're going to want to start going on the gas, because if you hit that hill on the other side of this jump, you will crash like 80% of the time. It's like right here. You want to be going just a little bit slower than maximum speed, because your bike will explode for like no reason. High impact explosions. Alright, for these cop cars, just try to skip them if at all possible. Up and over this ramp, as you can see, there's that flat area. You want to try to skip that, and unfortunately clip it a little bit, but you just want to hit that round part if you can. This ramp, I don't think I went off for whatever reason. As long as you clear it, it doesn't really matter. Just land way past it if you want. Alright, you can save a lot of time with these. If you just start up by going up, leaning back, and then leaning forward at the last second, as long as you get up and over, you can just push off the barrel with your back wheel. It's very easy to do. Just make sure to lean back upon landing, and then do the same thing here. Alright, another big jump here. Just try to get past the secondary smaller dirt. If you can land on that downhill section of dirt, I recommend it, although I wasn't really too worried about it at this point. With this track, there's a lot of spots you could save fractions of a second, but when it's a 7 or 8 minute track, it's not that big of a deal. Try to land here on the second section where it's downhill facing, of course. Bunny hop off this ramp here. Try to land on this downhill section to get more speed. From here, as long as you hold back and gas, you should have no problems really hitting this. And just make sure to lean forward into this hill. Lean back at the top and lean back forward into it. Alright, again, back and then forward. Back and then forward. Try to land either way well past the decline or on the flat part, because if you land like somewhere like right here, that might make you flip over depending on how you hit it. From here, this is where it gets really tricky, and this is where a lot of people fall, especially I know I did a lot. Just hold gas and back as much as you want, and just try to hit it while leaning back or flat or whatever, and that'll be your best bet. This is really one of those tricky things where you just want to hit as much speed as possible and just make sure your bike is balanced. Again, as little air as possible to hit the downhill section here. And don't think these are easy sections either. I've crashed more than enough times on every part in between now and the finish line. So make sure to do the bunny hop here. Land on the downhill section. Push forward. There are ways to do these jumps without much airtime, but I am not good enough at them. It's one of those things where it's like it's so far into this track that I don't ever practice it enough to actually do it. I have a top 1,000 times, so I don't really worry about it either, so. I'm so cool. Alright, just lean forward in this jump. It should gas you up enough here. Make sure to get, excuse me, make sure to get enough air just going through this jump here. I know that you can lose a lot of momentum there, so. And then again, make sure to just eliminate air time by getting it down as soon as possible. Leaning forward this whole time through this jump. Hopefully you should land past the downhill part. Make sure to keep going. Go take a drink of water real quick. I'm not used to talking this long. Anyways, leaning forward. Leaning forward through this jump. And we'll come up here. So leaning forward again. Going through here, you see me leaning forward still, and then leaning back into this incline. And then alright, from here we'll just keep going, leaning forward, leaning back as you land, and lean forward in this ramp. Hopefully if you get a good enough jump, you should be able to land on this downhill section of wood. Unfortunately, I did not get a good jump, so I didn't do that. So right about here is what I mean. Save all momentum, hop up here. Hopefully land on the downhill section of here. I almost landed or crashed that, so that would have been bad, but thankfully I didn't. Leaning forward up here, big jump. Landing again on this kind of downhill section of dirt here. Pushing into the hill. Hopefully skip that first section of bridge there. I messed it up, that's alright. Leaning forward up over here. Again, big a jump as possible to kind of land on this downhill section of dirt. I over jumped it a little bit. Pushing forward into the hill. And again, you should hopefully land on this downhill section, but again, I just mistimed the jump. Pushing forward, land on the downhill, and then just forward all the way to the finish line. Alright guys, well thanks for watching. I will let the replay run just through the end again, so if you guys want to stick around for that, feel free. Otherwise, obviously no obligation. Thanks for watching. Twitter and YouTube comments are always a thing. Just let me know what you guys want to see. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Hopefully this helps you out with this giant track.